Hello, everyone. Hello. This is Anthony A. Double A. You can call me. Talking about everyday living, everyday life. Let's go ahead and get into this. I got a good one today, subject for you. Kind of leading off what I was talking about a little while ago. Get back, if you get a chance, get back and check that video. It was dealing with, let me see, make sure I remember. It was dealing with like compounded interest, saving, letting your money grow, and so on and so forth. But anyway, though, I got a new one for you. And it's something that I've been thinking about. All right, but let's get this business out the way. Go ahead and hit the like button. Let's get the like button. As they say, get the likes up. You know, when you like, I think when you like a video, it's going to trigger the more videos. More people are going to be invited in. And we want everyone to come in and hear this good lifelong experience that Anthony A has. From my perspective, of course. And hopefully I make you laugh, make you smile, make you think, make you take some action. All right, go ahead. You got the like button? All right, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, hit it. You might as well. You've been watching my videos for a while now. If you're new here, just go ahead and do it. Get it out the way. If I don't give you that ultimate customer service experience, then you can go take your business elsewhere. But I'm telling you, I got some gems and some golden nuggets I be dropping up in here. You might be like watching the video, you're like, oh, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with that. Then you be like, baha. And you're like, oh man, that boy, he preaching, he telling the truth. So it might be later in the video. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share this video, get the comments starting. Let's talk about today, kind of leaning off what I was talking about the other day. And this is something I've been thinking about for a while. Changing your environment, changing your surroundings. Okay, making those decisions. I'm going to be talking to my single people today. I'm going to talk to my people with no kids, people with kids. I'm really wanting to help you single people out. There's this big thing, like when I was growing up, that had this ideal fantasy around living in a major city. I mean, and when I say a major city, I'm talking about a city probably in the millions. Some cities got tens of millions, but let's just keep it in the millions, right? And there's this thing that was like, man, you'll hear like, I'm going to New York City. That was a commercial, by the way. It's talking about Pace pecani sauce. I think that's what it was, or something like this. I might be saying that wrong. It was talking about some type of pecani sauce, salsa or something. But anyway, though, it's an old commercial. But when we get ready to graduate college or graduate high school, or I'm gonna go to the city. But as I've grown up, things have changed, people. Things have changed. This is why you gotta get your money right. This is why you gotta be wise with your decisions and your choices. We're talking about cost of living. What does it cost to live in a large city with millions of people, or a town on the outskirts of the city? Let's say 30 minutes away. Let's say 20 minutes away from a major city. Okay, so first thing you gotta look at is, especially if you're single, especially if you're a young lady, especially if you don't just like to deal with crime or anything like that. Let me go ahead and deal with this. You need to start looking these things up. Whether it's violent crime, whether it's home theft, burglaries, or whatever, you need to start looking this stuff up before you think about moving to a major city, right? Also, you need to look it up when start talking about going to these mid-sized cities. So what I want you to do is I want you to take inventory. I want you to take inventory I want you to find out how much an electric bill costs on average. I want you to find out how much your water bill is going to cost. Some apartments pay for that, but on average, I want you to find out like little hidden fees and like that. Tags. Some people have to pay for tags. You have to take your car in for inspection. Some areas you don't, but the price you pay for renewal is more. I want you to find out. Typically, you can go nationwide on phone service. The phone carriers, the phone services, whether or not you'll be able to pick up the internet, which is very important. Internet service. There's enough options out there that you don't necessarily have to get like the big names anymore, because you can get a subset of the big name. It's named something else, but it uses the same, in phone categories, it uses the same towers. And I've made that switch myself. I was using this big name brand. And I just, sometimes the calls, not the calls would drop, but the internet service would be, the service I was pulling from the towers was like mediocre at best sometimes. And this was one of the best. This was considered one of the best, one of the top. If you look it up right now, they're going to say this is the best service to get. But for my area, I was having, I think we had something go on, and all the internet services went down. Something major happened in the area that I lived in. All the internet services went down. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll just pull off my phone. I'll use the internet off my phone. Yeah, it was getting bogged down. It was just all kinds of issues were going on. And even now to this day, I mean, before I switched, I would just test it out on my own. Instead of pulling off my home internet connection, I would try to pull it off, just run my videos, run everything, just pulling off the towers. And so I switched over. I stayed with the same company, but I switched over to somebody that pays them. I'm paying half now, basically. So I don't want to get off in the rabbit hole, but the point is you need to do your research. You want to stay somewhere safe. You want to stay somewhere that's not up and coming, but like developing. I don't mean up and coming like it was a bad area and now they building and they're making it nice. You don't want to deal with that mess, because as soon as the builders stop building for whatever reason, you still got to get rid of the crime. People's housing gets stolen into. Some of y'all trying to get these new houses in these neighborhoods that have high crime area just because it's cheaper. It's cheaper for a reason, because it's a high crime area and now they building new houses in it. Save your paper, save your money, and get in a nice area, a nice safe neighborhood, especially if you're young. But I want you to think for a second. What is it about a major city that you do on a regular basis? You do on a regular basis that you can't do in a mid-sized town or a smaller town? How often do you go out? How often do you go to bars, go to dance halls? I'm saying dance halls, clubs, mall, but we can deal with the mall in a second. Do they still exist? Right? What do you buy on a regular basis? If you go to a major city, let's just say, for example, a 3-bedroom, let's say 3-bedroom, 3-bath home, 2-bath home, standard ranch style home in a small town may cost you anywhere from in the 2s to the 3s. I know some of y'all folks that listen to me, y'all not from the South. 200 to 300 something thousand. Yes. Yeah. Man, they must not have electricity. Yes, they have electricity. They have everything you have. You just been stuck up in the Northeast, or you've been stuck on the West Coast, or you've been living in a major city. You don't realize there are people that live in towns that actually have land and got everything you have, and then some, in most cases. But you can get $200,000-300,000 for 1,800 to 2,500 square foot home. Now, when I make this, if you watch this years and years later, those prices may change. But I'm gonna give you a range: 200 to 350,000, give or take. You get same size land and everything. Then you go over here to a major city and get that same home, and you just went up $100,000. So move everything up: 300 to 450,000, 300 to 500, 450,000. Same house. And in most cases, you're not getting better schools. So for you to have kids, schools. And the reason why I say you need a great school is because I went to some rough schools, and I went some decent schools. The difference between a rough school, and when I say rough, failing in every aspect, fighting almost every day in the building, kids duking it out in the hallway, kids bringing weapons to schools, drugs to schools. Those the schools I went to back in the day. To over here, less fights in the middle of the hallway, less drugs, less violence in the school, and more kids passing, making being what they call it at grade level in reading, math, science, so on and so forth. It was night and day between those schools. I ain't even talking about the best schools. I'm talking about like right there in the middle. Bad school, rough school, dangerous school, middle of the pack school. I went to the middle of the pack school. It was like a breath of fresh air. I was like, I literally walked, as a kid, this was junior high school. I literally walked in one school getting ready to go to my first class. They had me in the office all day. They was like, well, you can go to the second half of classes. They were checking me in and so on. And I walked the first day. They had a couple floors, and I walked up to the second floor, and I seen this guy take a swing at a teacher. Yeah. Junior high school now. He took a good, long, hard swing at the teacher. Yes, with his fist. First day in the hallway. First day going into the school. First day going into the school. So that gives you an idea of my experience at that school for a minute. It was a rough school. Anyway, though, I didn't stay there long. Long story. But anyway, though. But they are still, these areas are still dealing with the woes of major city crime. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Take inventory of what you spend your money on, what you do every day, how you spend your weekends, and consider where you live. Consider the schools around. Consider the daycares around. Consider the events that you can go to. If 80% of your stuff you can get in a town 30 minutes away, it's something to go out visit. Go do stop getting these things in your head that say, I gotta be in this place. I gotta go to this event. They were just having a conversation on the radio, and they were saying, okay, let me throw this in there real quick. When I was younger, I was really naive. I came from a pretty tough neighborhood, a pretty tough city. Pretty tough. One of the toughest cities to grow up. You survive in there, you survive. And I remember when I went off to college, it was like a badge of honor or something. I used to quote, man, I'm from so-and-so. And they'd be like, you from so-and-so? And they instantly think you're tough, because the city still to this day is a rough city, And I walk in with my shoulders high, go to the parties and the clubs and stuff when I was younger, and I'd be like, yeah, don't mess with me, I'm from so-and-so. Yeah. And then as I got older, I started realizing, and I went to this town. It was one of the best towns I ever been to. It was safe, it was clean. And I started to realize, why am I bragging because I came from a tough city? Because I thought there was some status associated with that. And in college, if you stand in a dorm with a bunch of kids and stuff like that, and it's a status. I'm from so-and-so city, But that was my stupid thinking. You know what I'm saying? That was my immature young thinking. But if you grew up in the suburbs and you stayed in a nice city, nice town, good school, that's going to get you further ahead in life than if you grew up in a rough area. And I went to rough schools, and I had to supplement my education because I went to a school that was failing. I had to go and I had to work a little bit harder because I wasn't up to par. It was some of the kids at their normal schools. My school was right here, and I had to work a little bit harder to catch up on everything. I was a smart kid, but the school's education was like right here. Other people come from cities and towns. The school's education was like right here. So I'm sitting up there, I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? I got to step up my game. You know, the things that I didn't learn. I mean, they were taking some classes that I didn't even have in my school. Ain't got nothing to do with funding, because we had plenty of funding. They just didn't have it. It just wasn't important to my city that I was in. So I had to go back and retake some classes and stuff, you know, and master some concepts. But I mean, I came out all right, you know, came out on the honor roll status, as they say. You know, got my higher degree, 3.8 out of 4, so I'm all right. I'm doing pretty good, you know. So that's something I like to put on my resume, by the way. Graduating in the top 5% of my class, 3.8 GPA. You know, could have had a 4 or 3.9 except for this one class. It killed me when I was going through my my master's level program. But anyway, though. So all I'm saying, people, is think about what you do every day. Do you really have to go to some other place, expand yourself? Go to some other cities, some towns. Because some of y'all only shop at Walmart, Target, some of these other stores. You don't even go to the niche stores. Some of these areas have like outdoor like malls where they got all these major shopping stores. These smaller areas that I'm talking about, they have malls. If you want to go to the mall, they have movie theaters. They have family zones and entertainment places. All the restaurants you can want. Look this up. I mean, look this stuff up online. Best small cities to live in. Safest small cities to live in. The cost of living is so much better, and you get the exact same thing. And if they don't have it, what can you do? Go online and order it and have it shipped right to your area. But they don't have my favorite pizza from so-and-so, so-and-so. Find you another favorite pizza spot, ma'am, sir. They don't have my club, so-and-so, so-and-so. That stuff, when you get older kids, that stuff gets, when I say kids, I mean like in your 20s. That stuff gets old, man. There's nothing worse than the old man sitting in the, or the old woman sitting, the old man, the old woman sitting in the club full of young 20-year-olds, and you sitting over there in your late 30s or 40s. You know, I'm sorry. It looks sad. It looks sad. You ought to be having your family or be by yourself, chilling, relaxing, coming down home from a hard day's work. All right, I'm going to cut this short. Let's get the comments going. Have you thought about the cost of living in these areas? Do you stay in a small town or small city? Did you used to live in a large city? Do you miss it? What did you lose, or did you gain something? Get the comments going in the bottom. All right, peace, love, and hair grease.